So, in this video, we explain about the selective reabsorption and tubular secretion. Selective reabsorption. Okay. So, and tubular secretion, and also tubular secretion. So in this segment, so generally the filtrate fluid occurs by passive manner, passive process. Okay, so tubular fluid occurs by passive, okay, passive process. So glomerular filtration also process also occurs by passive manner, and this also occurs by passive. But sometimes it also occurs through the active process. Active process. So in this segment, the filtrate fluid filters by a passive process and active process. Okay, right. So based on the necessity of the substances, based on the necessity of the filtrate substances, so generally they are classified into three types. Okay, so based on the filtrate, of the substances, the substances are categorized into three types. So one is high threshold substances. High threshold substances. Okay, high threshold substances. So high threshold substances means which are essential and efficiently reabsorbed. Okay, which are essential and efficiently reabsorbed by the renal tubule. Okay, so that the type of substances are called as high threshold substances. For example, glucose. So glucose, these are the essential substances for our body. Okay, glucose, amino acids. So amino acids. Okay, vitamins. So these are the essential substances. Okay, and also NaCl also. Okay, right. So these are the essential substances. The second category is low threshold substances. Low threshold substances. Okay, low threshold substances. Okay, yeah. So what is the low threshold? Low threshold means a little bit of substances are reabsorbed by renal tubule. So a little amount of substances are reabsorbed. Okay, so for example is urea. Okay, and uric acid. Okay, right. So third one is a threshold. So a threshold substances. So a threshold substances means here nothing substances are reabsorbed. Okay, so not reabsorbed at all. Okay, so not reabsorbed at all. Okay, for example is creatinine. Okay, creatinine. So creatinine is the non-threshold substances. Okay, so body does not want this creatinine, this waste material, which is produced by the muscles contractions. Okay, right. So based on the absorption of substances. Okay, so their substances are categorized into three categories: high threshold, low threshold, and a threshold. Okay, right. Now we know the what is tubular secretion generally. So during the process of selective reabsorption, tubular secretion also takes place. Okay, so generally tubular secretion is one of the important, it plays an important role in the formation of urine. Okay, so tubular secretion plays an important role in the filtration, in the formation of urine. Okay, right. So here the tubular secretion means the renal tubule cells, the tubular cells, the renal tubule wall made up of a cuboidal cells, tubular cells. The tubular cells of the renal tubule secretes some ions to maintain the ionic and acid balance of the body. Okay, so tubular cells secretes generally hydrogen ions, and potassium ions and ammonia ions. Okay, so these ions generally maintains the ionic pH ionic balance of our body. Okay, right. So the tubular secretion is plays an important role during the formation of urine. Okay, right. Now we know about the selective reabsorption in different parts of the renal tubule. Okay, so now we know the selective reabsorption. Okay, in different parts of the renal tubule. Okay, here we see this is already in previous video we discussed about this part of the Malpighian body or Bowman's capsule. Now we selective reabsorption generally takes place in the renal tubule. This is the renal tubule of the nephron. Okay, right. So when after the filtration, after the glomerular filtration, now the fluid comes into the proximal convoluted tubule. So this one is the proximal convoluted tubule. That means PCT. That means proximal convoluted tubule. Okay. So when fluid comes into the proximal convoluted tubule, then here useful substances which are present, they are reabsorbed. Okay. So 70 to 80%. If we see, okay, here we see in the proximal tubule. First we in the proximal tubule. Okay, proximal tubule. First we know the reabsorption takes place in the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, right. Here in proximal, when the fluid it comes, the necessity substances which are present in the filtered fluid, they are first efficiently reabsorbed by the wall of the renal tubule. Okay, so what are the necessary substances? Here we see the sodium chloride. So generally in this segment, in this proximal tubule, so 70 to 80% of sodium chloride and glucose, amino acids. Okay, these are and water, some amount of water are reabsorbed. Okay, right. So these are reabsorbed. Okay, here we see this is the sodium chloride reabsorbs. Okay, so reabsorbs into the interstitial fluid. Okay, so this is the interstitial fluid of the kidney. Okay, right. So here the wall of the renal tubule reabsorbs the sodium chloride. Here the sodium is actively reabsorbed, but chloride ions are passively reabsorbed. So actively means they need energy. Okay, so chloride passive transport means that does not require ATP energy. Okay, right. So sodium is actively reabsorbed, and here the chloride ions are passively transport. Okay, next the remaining essential material, essential substances, glucose, amino acids, so these vitamins, so these are also actively transported. Okay, but water is reabsorbed by osmosis process. Okay, this is generally occurs in this segment PCT. Okay, proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, so during the reabsorption takes place in the PCT, then tubular secretion also occurs. Okay, so tubular secretion means what happens here? Here the tubular cells which are present here, tubular cells generally secretes hydrogen ions into the filtrate and ammonia into the filtrate fluid. Okay, then why they are secrete? They maintains the pH and ionic balance. Okay, so when it secretes into the filtrate, then from the filtrate bicarbonate ion comes out into the interstitial fluid. Okay, then the pH and ionic balance maintains equilibrium. Okay, right. So this happens in the PCT segment. Okay, right. So now we know the reabsorption in the next segment, that is Henle loop. Okay, next segment of the nephron is Henle loop. Okay, so this is the Henle loop. Okay, so now we know the reabsorption in Henle loop. Okay, right. So what happened? Now the filtrate fluid comes down into the filtrate fluid now comes down into the Henle loop. Okay, so generally in the Henle loop there are in this segment it is minimize the filtrate fluid. Okay, so in this, when filtrate fluid comes in the Henle loop, then the Henle loop generally minimize the reabsorption, okay, and plays a important role to maintain the osmolarity in the interstitial fluid. Maintains the high osmolarity in the interstitial fluid. Okay, right. But here the loop is divided into two parts. Okay, this is the descending loop of Henle. This is the ascending loop of Henle. So this one is the descending. This one is the descending loop of Henle. Okay, yeah. So descending loop of Henle, and this one is the ascending loop of Henle. So in the descending loop, generally renal tubule permeable to water and impermeable to electrolytes. Okay, so permeable to the wall of the renal tubule, permeable to water and impermeable to electrolytes. That means now the water reabsorption takes place, and it will comes into interstitial fluid of the kidney. Okay, right. So now the water molecules will takes place. Okay, reabsorption takes place and comes into the interstitial fluid, but not electrolytes. Electrolytes are impermeable. Sodium chlorides are not reabsorbed. Reabsorption takes place. Okay, so they are impermeable to this wall. So they are present inside of the filtrate fluid. So when the filtrate fluid comes downwards, then gradually concentration will also increases, because of water molecules comes out. Okay, only there are electrolytes only present inside of the filtrate. That means the concentration will be raised. Okay, increases when the filtrate fluid comes down into the medulla region. Okay, medulla region. So this is the kidney. If you take this is the part of the kidney. So here this is the cortex region of the kidney. This is the outer medulla region of the kidney. This is the inner medulla region of the kidney. So when the filtrate fluid in the Henle loop, descending limb of Henle loop comes down into the medulla region, then the concentration will be increased. Here we see the 800 concentration. Here we see the 1000 concentration. Here the 1200 concentration. That means the concentration will be increases in the filtrate fluid. Okay, right. So this is about the descending limb of Henle. Now we know about the ascending limb of Henle. Okay, so this is the ascending limb. Okay, right. So ascending loop of Henle. Okay, if we know the ascending limb of Henle, so generally this is the ascending limb is divided into two segments. So the proximal segment. This one is the proximal segment. So this one is the proximal segment. The wall is thin, and this is the distal ascending loop. The wall is thick. Okay, so this is the thin segment. So this has the thin segment and this has the thick segment. Okay, right. Here what happens when the filtrate fluid comes into the ascending limb? Then here is the thin segment and thick segment also. Sodium chlorides are impermeable and sodium chlorides are permeable and water is impermeable. Okay, that means here the only sodium chlorides only reabsorption takes place. Sodium chloride only reabsorption takes place, but water they are not reabsorbs. Okay, they are present inside of the filtrate fluid. Okay, but here in thin segment, sodium chloride is generally passively transported. They no need ATP. But here the sodium chloride is actively transported, actively reabsorbed by taking ATP. Okay, right. So when the fluid moves upward in the ascending loop of Henle, then the filtrate fluid gradually gradually dilute. Concentration become a gradually dilute because of water molecules are impermeable. They are present inside of the filtrate fluid. That's why the filtrate fluid, when it moves upward in the ascending loop, then the concentration is gradually lower. The solution will be dilute. Okay, right. So here you see the 800. Here we see the 600. Here is 400. Like this, the filtrate fluid is mainly dilute. Okay, right. So this is the reabsorption takes place in the descending and ascending loop of Henle.